I started my very first side hustle when I was a kid, and since then I have started many others, turned my side hustle into a full-blown business, and I even wrote a book about the entire journey. So if there's one thing I know about for sure, it's side hustles. But the truth is that there's some opportunities out there that are great, and then there's a lot of lousy opportunities too. Picking the right side hustle is kind of like choosing the right car for a race. You could be the best driver in the world with all of the training and experience, but if you're behind the wheel of a Toyota Camry, it's not gonna matter. My goal with this video is to set you up with a Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferrari, whatever your favorite car is. Because here's the truth, if you're an A or S tier entrepreneur, you need to be looking at an A or S tier opportunity to go along with it. Before we dive in, if you're excited about side hustles just like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Here's the criteria we have for these various side hustles. In my book, one of the things that I talk about is how to pick a good side hustle. And what I have found here is that the best opportunity usually aligns with one of your passions or your interests. Because here's the thing, you could be doing this for the next 5 years, decade, or longer. I mean, heck, I've been doing YouTube now for 9 years, so it's a good thing that it's something that I'm both passionate about and interested in. The second criteria we're going to focus on here is the startup costs. Because let's face it, spending a bunch of money right out of the gate to start your side hustle isn't a good idea. The goal of a side hustle is to make money, not spend a ton of money on it. So we're going to be focusing on ideas that you can bootstrap and ideally start making money from day one. And finally, we're going to be looking at the 10-year time horizon for each one of these opportunities, because you don't want to dive into something only to find that the industry is going obsolete. Let's kick things off with arguably one of the most popular and common side hustles today. That's becoming a YouTuber, or more specifically, a content creator. These days, kids don't want to be a rock star anymore. Most of them want to become an influencer. But how realistic is this today? From a passion perspective, this opportunity is ideal because you could pretty much create content about anything under the sun, so you can directly align this with one of your interests or passions. But that doesn't take into consideration how competitive a niche is, how lucrative it is, and many other important factors. Starting a passion-oriented content page for your own personal interests in a creative outlet is one thing, but trying to create a full-blown business around this in 2025 is a totally different story. Looking at this through the lens of startup costs, this can be expensive if you go out and buy tons of professional lighting, cameras, teleprompters, and all of that good stuff. You could bootstrap it, record videos for free using the camera on your phone that you have presently in most cases, but here's what that doesn't take into consideration. One of the key lessons from my book is the quality bar, and that talks about the base level of production quality typically needed to at least hold a candle to the competitors in your category. My equipment costs thousands of dollars, and if you include the software subscriptions and things like that too, it's well over $10,000. You do have the option here of just recording videos right from your phone, but if you do want to be competitive in your niche and have a competitive production quality, it's most likely going to cost you, meaning this is not some casual side hustle. Looking at the 10-year time horizon, this can be a really lousy opportunity because of what I said at the very beginning. A lot of kids growing up today want to be an influencer, and that means there is a wave of competition coming. It's competitive today, it's going to be more competitive tomorrow, and that doesn't even take into consideration any of the threats related to AI in the content business. With that said, guys, it's time to give this an official rating, and I have to put the opportunity of becoming a YouTuber or content creator in the D tier position, and here's why. Number one, high potential startup costs if you want to actually be competitive. Number two, it's generally an oversaturated market that's growing every day. And number three, there's little protection here from AI, and that overall makes this a risky side hustle in my opinion. But if you're serious about this and it's what you really want to do, I would still say go for it if you're up for the challenge. The next side hustle on our list might make you laugh, cringe, or something in between, but I promise you it's a real side hustle opportunity. Here's someone making more than $13,000 a month, doing a job that most people would hate, and that is washing trash cans. I had no idea that this was a thing, but the bin guy on TikTok has tapped into a very unique market opportunity. With the systems he has and the partner he has in place now, they are able to clean up to 100 bins every day, but when they got started, they were only doing about 4. 40 bins a day. When you're starting out with this opportunity, you might be borrowing your customer's garden hose and hooking up a portable pressure washer. And from a startup cost perspective, that's really not too bad because it might only cost you a couple $100s. But once you have the business up and running, you might reinvest into the proper mobile cleaning equipment. These machines can be pricey, but they are faster and more favorable, especially because they are not leaving any of that dirty garbage water behind. Now, looking at this from a passion perspective, guys, it scores very low unless you are passionate about customer service, systems, or cleaning up trash. There's really not too much here. Looking at this from a 10-year time horizon, this scores very highly on that because 10 years from now, we're still going to have trash and recycling, and we're still going to need bins for that. And with the yuck factor that's associated with this opportunity, you're just not going to see people lining up to do this opportunity, unlike is the case with becoming an influencer. So it's time to score this, guys. I'm going to give this out-of-the-box side hustle opportunity an A-tier ranking, and here's why. Despite scoring low on the passion perspective, if you can get around the ick factor, it's pretty much a solid opportunity with relatively low startup costs, so I would definitely say keep it on your shortlist. Up next, we have a newer side hustle opportunity that hasn't been around as long, and that is selling UGC or user-generated content. This is when customers create simple videos reviewing products or experiences that they have tried, and then the brands will use this content for social media, ads, and things like that in exchange for payment. So let's break things down one at a time here, starting off with the passion/interest criteria. If you do this side hustle right, you're going to be partnering with brands that align with something major going on in your life. Maybe you just had a baby, a new pet, or something like that. Because with UGC, what you're going to find is that authenticity is key. It's not about just promoting random products and getting paid. But with that said, some people will always take that inauthentic approach for short-term gains, and in my opinion, guys, you really don't want to do that. From a startup cost perspective, this score is very high because the entire point of this content is for it to be low fidelity. And that means no fancy lighting, no external mic in most cases. You're not worried about 4K cameras and things like that because the whole point is for this to look casual and authentic. So that means that you can start this side hustle truly with $0 as long as you have something to record with and an internet connection already. Platforms like Fiverr and Billo are a great place to get started when looking for UGC opportunities. Lastly, looking at the 10-year time horizon here, with this side hustle, it's sort of a mixed bag. The value of UGC may diminish over time if it loses authenticity through paid actors. But with that said, social media is expected to remain hot and continue to be a major place where people buy things that brands will utilize for discovery, and I don't see any of that changing. And with the integration of AI recommendations, I think real human opinions are going to carry more and more weight in society as we move forward here. With that said, guys, it's time to assign a rating here to being a UGC content creator, and honestly, I have to say this is a B-tier opportunity. For me personally, I would use a side hustle like this to put together the seed money to start a bigger and better side hustle down the line. Maybe you're dreaming big here and you start this side hustle off as something small, but eventually turn it into a full-blown marketing agency that helps these clients create advertising campaigns instead of just one-off videos. Before we get into the next side hustle, make sure you support the channel by hitting that subscribe button. The next side hustle opportunity is sort of a joke and sort of not. That is flipping Labubus. If you're not familiar, Labubu is an online collection of plush toys created by an illustrator from Hong Kong, and the internet has gone crazy over them. So this craze has led to people buying them up in hordes to collect or possibly even resell, but this is not the first craze, and it's certainly not going to be the last. Whether we're talking Pokemon cards, Supreme merchandise, Beanie Babies, or something else, the list goes on and on. All of these instances of consumer product mania generally end the same way, and that is the trend dies off and people stop paying top dollar for the items. That's what I think is going to happen here with Labubus, but I could be wrong. But anyway, let's go ahead and analyze the opportunity. From a passion perspective, sure, maybe you enjoy collecting them and you want to flip a couple for a profit to potentially reinvest or something like that. I see no problem there. But if you're doing this on a large scale, this is not ideal from a cost perspective because you have to sink money into inventory by pre-ordering and purchasing, and that's not great. And because of the high demand and limited supply drops, you have almost no control over when you're going to get these or how many you're able to get. But worst of all is the 10-year time horizon for this opportunity. It's likely that the collectible value these have will diminish or even collapse in that point in time. Because here's the thing, this is what has happened pretty much every time in history, and we all know that history repeats itself. So with that said, it's time to give Flipping Labubus a proper rating, guys. This is 100% an F tier opportunity. So guys, steer clear of Flipping Labubus. Some people even think they are cursed or haunted. I don't know about that, but they're certainly not a good business opportunity. Up next now we have dropshipping. This is an e-commerce business model where stores sell products without keeping them in stock. Instead, you take the orders from your customers and then you bring that to the supplier, and the supplier sends the product to your customer. The whole idea here is to generate a profit by selling the product for more than you paid your supplier, but this explanation is really oversimplified. But here's the thing, what I just told you is how most people will pitch the dropshipping opportunity. They'll claim it's so simple and it's just a matter of mailing people stuff from an overseas supplier. Definitely not. From a passion perspective, this scores extremely low. Yes, you could dropship a product here that's related to one of your passions or your interests, but that's generally not recommended as it will often leave you pigeonholed. More than likely, you'll end up dropshipping a variety of products, whether you like them or not, to generate consistent profits. Looking at this through the lens of startup costs, it's a bit of a mixed bag. You can technically start this with almost no costs outside of subscriptions for things like Shopify or other platforms, and that's a big part of what draws people in. But that isn't the recommended approach here, guys, if you're actually looking to have success in the world of e-commerce. Because here's the thing, when you're fully reliant on a supplier overseas, you have no control over customer service, order handling, or anything like that. There's a decent chance it's going to take weeks, if not months, for the order to actually arrive, and that's a terrible customer experience. What most people do instead in the e-commerce business is bringing their items overseas first from the supplier and then fulfilling the orders from the US. But that requires a lot of money up front to buy products, store them, and more. And that's not even the traditional dropshipping business model. That's more of a traditional e-commerce business, which is a lot less passive. Finally, looking at the 10-year time horizon here, guys, it's really not that great. Because the cost to start dropshipping is extremely low, the market can be extremely competitive. And more importantly, because you are not the supplier or the shipper in a traditional dropshipping business model, there are a lot of factors that are out of your control, such as the product price increasing, delivery quality, and things like that. And that can heavily impact your profit or lack thereof. Overall, guys, it's time to give this a rating, and coincidentally, dropshipping is a D tier opportunity. It's just not as simple as most people say it is. If you do this business model the lazy way, like I described at the beginning, with your overseas suppliers fulfilling your orders, it's a race to a 0% profit margin, guys, and you don't want to be in that race. Now, dog walking might not seem like the very first side hustle opportunity that you might think of here, guys, but it needs to be on your radar, and here's why. According to a recent study, 43% of Americans prefer pets over children, citing reasons such as costs, lifestyle, and ease. But the point here is that a lot of people would rather spend big on their pets now as opposed to spending big on children, and that means that pet-related services are potentially highly lucrative. Looking at the dog walking opportunity here, guys, it scores high in the passion and interest department if you like dogs. But if you don't necessarily love dogs or possibly even like them, you might still want to consider this opportunity if you're passionate about exercise and staying healthy. From a startup cost perspective, this scores quite high because there is virtually no cost. You can tap into existing apps out there like Wag and Rover to find dog walking gigs right in your neighborhood. And the pet owners are generally going to supply the leash, poop bags, treats, and all that. So that means all you really need for this opportunity is a method of transportation, a smartphone, and an area to walk the dogs. Finally, the 10-year time horizon for the side hustle opportunity looks really good because the love for pets isn't going to stop. I personally think the trend of pets over children will continue into the future, and I believe the spending will remain strong on these services as a result. Dog walkers exist today, they're going to exist in 10 years, and I'm willing to bet they're going to exist in 100 years too. So I feel this is a totally future-proof, AI-proof side hustle opportunity. With all of that taken into consideration, it's time to score this opportunity, and this is going to be our first S-tier side hustle. The reason why? Expansion. Think about it. The same people who are looking for a dog walker are also often looking for boarding, pet sitting, grooming, and other pet services. One by one, you could bring all of these services under your roof and then cross-sell to your existing customers. At that point, the dog walking just becomes your top of the funnel service to get people in the door, and you could even hire it out to your own team of dog walkers. This has great scalability, but even as a standalone side hustle opportunity, it's one of the best, and as an added benefit, it could potentially keep you in good shape while you're at it. The last side hustle opportunity we're going to talk about is one that we actually talked about in my book, and that is becoming an Airbnb tour guide or offering a local experience to visitors. Now, I got this idea after booking many of these experiences myself after traveling around to different cities like Seattle and Cabo in my earlier 20s, because I found this to be a very great way to learn a new city. In order to be an effective tour guide, you need to have the knowledge and the charisma to provide a unique experience to your customers. In addition, Airbnb is also going to review and approve your credentials before you get started. It's just like how hosts will list their places on Airbnb, but instead you're offering a local experience. So how does this side hustle hold up today? Well, from a passion perspective, it scores extremely high because you can align it directly with one of your interests. Maybe it's a quilting class, guitar lessons, or just walking people through the city that you love and sharing things about it. The whole idea of this side hustle, guys, is to tap into an existing market of people coming to your area looking for fun things to do that you also love to do. Looking at the costs here, this could be a mixed bag because it's possible that it's just something that you're relying on your personal knowledge for, like a tour guide, or there could be expensive equipment and things like that involved. In addition, some experiences might require supplies or even insurance and licenses, which means the costs can vary significantly. Finally, looking at the 10-year time horizon, guys, I think it's a good opportunity because I don't expect the demand for travel to go anywhere. I don't think you will always be able to rely on Airbnb for a steady flow of traffic, but I think there will always be a certain group of people who are looking to travel and also take advantage of experiences on those trips. And this human interaction associated with these experiences is not something that can be replicated by artificial intelligence. As far as the ranking goes for this opportunity, becoming an Airbnb tour guide is an A-tier opportunity, and let me tell you why. It's a good opportunity for those who live in the right area and enjoy talking with others. But if you happen to live in some sleepy area that doesn't get a lot of tourists, or you just don't really like talking to people, it's probably not the opportunity for you. That's going to wrap things up for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would love to hear your thoughts on how this tier list lined up for you. Whether you agree or disagree with me, let's get the discussion started down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe. If you're looking for more side hustle content, check out this next video on the best side hustles to get started with. We'll see you next time.